Hello, my name is Anton, and this is my presentation on The Boxer, which is a webtoon that was released back in 2020, I believe. There we go. So, the story revolves around a lot of characters, and the main one always revolving around you in some way, shape, or form. He's a person with amazing abilities to box. His reactions and skill of that are matching of pros, and that is just when you first meet him. The coach, or his soon-to-be coach, basically tries to punch him, and you just dodges. He is a person who does not take a hit unless he just doesn't want to. He has zero drive. He doesn't care about anything himself because he basically has lived the worst life that one could live and still be alive. The art style of the comic has the ability to show the true power of characters by showing their pure strengths. The best way that they do this is by showing characters on mountains or giant pillars of just random characters, and then you see the one who has the most power on the biggest mountain as a giant person. Every panel basically makes you want to go to the next, and they all flow beautifully with one another. I sometimes just scroll really fast through it because the action just keeps going and going and going, and it just makes you that engaged to continue reading. For one of the key points is Comics Code of Authority. So, blood, gore, nudity, sex, murder, crime, anything along those lines is basically shown within this comic, except for the nudity. That one's a little hush-hush, but everything else of just beating everyone to a pulp to the point of almost death is there. There is some crime, and we'll get to that one shortly. But basically it's just a story about hitting people for fun or for sport, depending on which way you look at it. This panel, specifically to the right, shows the disrespect between the characters have towards one another. Due to the length, the basic synopsis is that, do you think you could win? Even if you can learn how to box, one of the characters is like, no, I know I can't win. But I'm not the one who's losing here. You are, because you're the one just beating a weak guy and not doing anything with yourself. And then the top guy proceeds to beat the ever-living crap out of them. So, potato. Because he has a huge sense to win in every aspect. And his boxing style is loosey-goosey. And if you ever read the comic, you will completely understand what that means. Next, we have heroism and ethics. This part of the story is pretty far in, but it will show the lengths that both coaches will go to have their players win. Starting off with Ryu, he is completely pumped up with drugs, though not to his acceptance. Basically, his coach told him that it was supplements, not a enhancing drug. So his body basically goes into overdrive, and it is currently destroying his opponent. The bottom guy, this is also how it's laid out in the comic. Very long panels are stretched out like this. I believe it actually does give a sense of weight to an image. But yeah, on the bottom character is also on drugs to match that of just usability on base, not with usability plus drugs. So he is getting absolutely hammered. And his coach and him have also gone through ways to mess with Yu's life. This is their strategy, basically, to make a person want to screw up or make them screw up psychologically before getting into the ring. And then once they do so, they absolutely destroy them. Because when you're not in your right mindset, you're not going to win a fight. In this specific arc, I wouldn't see any ethics between either characters. or teams for that matter. Both of them are using drugs, some to their knowledge, others to not. And it's just not a way to win a fair fight. And even the referee is thinking that this isn't a fair fight. I mean, the man's literally upside down on the rink getting pummeled. The heroism comes in play when the other panels are showing off the crowd, basically cheering on you and not cheering on to the bottom, because the character on the bottom and his coach completely show that they are disgusting people. They will mess with anyone's lives to try to get a leg up on the game. So you basically destroying this guy has the audience thinking that he is a hero. In reality, he's just a guy who wants to punch because he's being told that he has to. Next, we have realism, family connections, and this shows the connection between the guy in green, which was back in the first comic panel, and his father, basically stating that doesn't matter if you haven't done anything wrong, run, because run as fast as you can, just don't, so that way you won't be caught. That's true courage, showing that you can survive. And it's not a fault to be running away. It shows that you do have courage in this type of situation, like getting beaten to a pulp. You could have run away, though he didn't. There is also another situation with a family matter, and I believe that is also done beautifully. Both relationships of these two characters shown on the right and the other one that I was mentioning are just showing the care that a family can have and the supportness of your child. Next, for my personal opinion, I absolutely adore this comic. Every page has me on the edge of my seat. Every page in panel makes me want to read another one. I'm almost up to date. Webtoon has a specific thing where you can purchase coins, which will basically mean that you can read the comics ahead, though I am cheap, so I don't do that. So I'm as caught up as I can be. But this one almost made me want to purchase some just so that way I can read the next few pages, pages, because it's just that good. The three characters that are shown right here are honestly always trying to show something different. They are not similar in any way other than that they all want a box, or they just want to hit people or can hit people. One who's always trying his hardest, which is the guy in the green. One who knows he's the best, which is the guy in the red. And the last one doesn't care, since everything to him is meaningless. Because if you live in his type of situation, you could understandably fall into that type of mindset. The thing I love the most about this comic, though, is how you can feel the weight of every hit. Every impact is just feeling like a cannon. The 2 panels ago, we can see how you is absolutely demolishing the guy above, because you can feel the impact of every hit. If you want to go check it out, there it is. It's called The Boxer. That is you. And boy golly, it's definitely up there as one of the favorites. Anyways, thank you for watching.